Ladies and gentlemen, it's RaiderIC2 here again with another 1v1 game, and this is not a pro game. This is one of the lower level games between DViNeMoNSTeR here, the Protoss, the blue Protoss in the upper right hand corner on Shakur's Plateau, and his opponent in the other corner, Slayer, the red Zerg, who has the nice little horde decal. It's pretty cool. Must have a lot of games played for that. And yeah, so basically this is, from the description, a pretty awesome game. I'm actually looking forward to see how it turns out, because judging by what the person who sent it in said, it should be pretty crazy. Thank you everyone for your support. I really appreciate it. I mean, I get on there and I see the comments and what little constructive criticism there is. I try and take that and go with it. I know my last cast, the pro cast between Desert and Dark Cell, it was a little shaky. I forgot some stuff, but you know, it's a learning process. It's, you know, I'm getting better. Don't worry, guys. Eventually, I'll have this down 100%. And as we can see here, just DViNeMoNSTeR is continuing to probe up. He's probably going to be getting, well, he should have gotten another probe, so he can, you know, so he wasn't economically behind. But then again, it is personal preference whether you get 12 gate or 13 gate. I prefer the 13 gate, but you know, it's just me. And his opponent, Slayer, who has still not gotten either a spawning pool or a hatchery, so he's a little bit behind on that. But it looks like he is going for maybe a 15 hatch. Just sending this drone out, taking pot shots at the little probe. I know previously, before the patch, drones had a slight delay before they attacked, so it made it nearly impossible to micro, you know, any drone versus you know, a worker or anything. The drones basically derped around and weren't able to get any hits off. But luckily that's been changed, so it's at least somewhat balanced. And it looks like the if we take a look at here, yeah, it looks like the drone managed to pick off that probe. So apparently the change really did go through and is really effective. But as we can see here, DViNeMoNSTeR just threw down a cybernetics core. He's getting out his zealot, so he can block that off. And as we look over here, Slayer has dropped down his hatchery, and he dropped down the spawning pool before that, and is getting gas, so he's going to want to be getting some early speedlings. And all is normal. I question this overlord placement. I mean, it's good in case of, you know, say a cannon rush, because Forge FE is possible on this map. But you really want to be spreading your overlords around, like maybe put an overlord out here, or put an overlord in the middle of the map, so you can at least know when the Protoss player is pushing out, so you can, you know, maybe have some advanced warnings so you know when to stop making drones and make a few units to defend. The other possibility with gas is to drop down the roach warren, which he did, so it looks like he's wanting to either put on a little pressure with roaches, or he's worried that some sort of attack is going to be coming up soon, that he's going to need roaches to defend. And again, DViNeMoNSTeR over here is looking like he's going to be supply blocked soon. He just finished the Stalker, and the next probe out of the Nexus is going to supply block him at 26, but it's not that terrible, especially if he uses the excess minerals he built up to drop down more gateways. That's typical. It's commonplace when you're foregating to get up to 26 out of 26, drop down all 3 gateways, and then drop down a pylon, so it ends up working out in the end. But, oh, look what we have here. Stargate. Looks like he's wanting to do a little bit of Stargate harass, which is actually pretty effective versus Zergs, especially if they don't go Queen heavy, and it's especially going to be effective against Slayer here, who is going roaches. And he has absolutely no clue about any of that. He hasn't scouted the Protoss at all, and that's again another reason why it's effective to have an Overlord on near your opponent's base that you can, you know, suicide in. You're going to lose the Overlord, but you can at least find out that he's doing some sort of, you know, one-base Stargate play, and that's actually going to be very effective, especially considering, you know, only 1 queen out, and he is taking up to lair, so that is going to lend itself to being more effective than, you know, staying on hatch tech or getting a third or something. But the roaches are not going to be much help at all. If he gets out Spire, or if he gets out a Hydra Den, then that will help him a lot. What? Whoa. Well, guys, looks like we have a fleet bacon. This is going to be interesting. I don't know. I'm guessing he's planning to go for maybe sort of a mothership, but I guess, you know, carriers can be effective. I've seen. I saw White Raw mass carriers against a Zerg on his stream one time, so that was actually pretty impressive. we'll just have to see which route he takes with the fleet beacon. That's something you don't see every day. But again, over here, oh, he's getting an overseer out, which I don't know. We'll have to see what he does with it if he decides to. Oh, and a hydrogen. Did he see anything? I don't know. He doesn't have any clue about how this is going. I guess it's just pure luck. I mean, he hasn't scouted his opponent at all, but he's dropping down that hydrogen, which is going to basically hard counter this build from DViNeMoNSTeR. And he really should be doing something with this overseer. He should at least, it's going to be fast enough that it's not going to die from the stalkers and such. He should at least find out that his opponent is in fact going for a mothership rush. But again, because of the fact that he has that overseer out, it's going to negate the mothership entirely, except for, you know, Vortex. This is pretty interesting. He's getting the pneumatized carapace upgrade for his overlords, so I'm guessing he's planning for some sort of drop. But it'll be interesting to see how he deals with the mothership. He's continuing to build roaches. He still has no hydras out, which is not good. But as soon as he sees it coming, he'll be able to react almost instantly. And he has almost no map presence. This is not very good for Slayer. I mean, as a Zerg, you basically have free map hacks. You have all these overlords that you can basically spread around the map as you will, and just, you know, have a constant map presence. And he's lacking that use. I mean, I can see staying in your base as DViNeMoNSTeR. I mean, he sort of knows what the general way to counter his build is, since he's going to be the one relying on secrecy. So, I mean, it's more a fault of Slayer in this case. But Slayer does have 6 hydras on the way. He's not quite saturated on these bases, but I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter since his opponent is still on 1 base, but he doesn't know that because he hasn't scouted. But as we can see, the mothership is out, and the mothership is sitting here cloaking the Nexus, cloaking the probes. It'll be, I'm interested in seeing how he uses it. And is that? Huh. I think this is post-patch mothership. That's it actually does accelerate faster. That's pretty awesome. And he's just floating the mothership out. Looks like he's planning to save up some energy and maybe do the a mass recall into the Zerg's base with his entire army here. But as we can see, this Zerg force is waiting for him. 5 more hydras are on the way, and now he takes his expansion. So if he doesn't lose everything in this attack, then he might have a chance to, you know, use this attack effectively. One use I've seen it be effective is to push out with your attacking force, attack, and if it gets a little bit too tough, then you mass recall back to your mothership that's actually in your base. So all of your forces sit, you know, nicely at home with nothing to worry about. And this overseer is just coming in. Let's see what he scouts. Is he going to see the fleet beacon? Is he going to see it? Yep, he sees it. And then he's also going to see the Stargate. So he's gonna have to be wondering. He knows something's going to be up. And as we can see here, mass recall, the force right into the Zerg's main. This is he's focusing down the queen, but here come the hydras and the other queen. Yeah, that's going to be there's because of those overseers. It's basically negating the entire effect of the mothership, and it's just, this had so much promise, but I don't know how Slayer did it, but he basically just hard countered this build. He countered it perfectly to a T without ever having scouted it. I mean, that's as lucky a victory as you can possibly get, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, and now basically all he has to do is T click or A click over into the his opponent's base and win. These zealots just being pesky. As we can see, the Protoss player killed off a lot of oh yeah, this is how much yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the mothership is not very powerful. I'm guessing that's why it was removed, but that at least you're using it, you're playing a different style, and that's, at least you're having fun, you know, testing out something different instead of just doing the standard, oh, I'm gonna forge FE and then 6 gate, you know, all in you. It gets boring. I mean, people don't want to watch that. People want to watch interesting stuff with motherships and mass recalling into the Zerg's base and killing, you know, his entire mineral line. And that's what's entertaining. But there's just too much here. Too many roaches, too many hydras, and the hydras are just so good against gateway units. you really need AoE dealing with Hydras, and this is just going to overrun poor DViNeMoNSTeR. And GG. And that's it. But, you know, at least we got to see an awesome game with a mothership rush, and, wow, yeah. That's, we got to see the mothership acceleration, and still how, you know, it can be used effectively, but as far as a rush goes, if they already have Overseers out, it's not going to work out so well. But thank you, DViNeMoNSTeR. That was very entertaining. And ladies and gentlemen, please go post any criticism you have on my Team Liquid thread, and any criticism you have on my comments. I'm going to read it all. I want to make this the best experience I can possible for you guys, and I appreciate all your views. And I'll talk to you guys next time.